So I've got a big article coming out tomorrow in The Athletic talking about how the 49ers can improve their offensive line through this upcoming NFL draft. So wanted to set the table as I take a walk here through the city. Starting in the Mission, we're going to work our way up to the Water. But how can the 49ers get this job done? I think you have to understand how the 49ers have evolved along the offensive line over the years, because it hasn't been all bad for San Francisco. They've actually invested in the front over the years. Now they just need more investment because the time for that has come. It's fitting that we're talking about investment here in the financial district of San Francisco. Cool little public spot here right outside of Montgomery Station. The Holbrook House, nice champagne bar behind me. But the investment in the 49ers offensive line began really in earnest back in 2021. There was the night that they re-signed Trent Williams to record money and also signed Alex Mack. I'm sure you remember that. It came after, let's put, years of fairly inept offensive line play. In 2019, the 49ers had a good run blocking unit, but they were number 26 in ESPN's pass block win rate. And I think it was the pass protection that cost the 49ers the most in the Super Bowl. And then in 2020, things got even worse. Remember when Quinnen Williams beat Laken Tomlinson, caused a high ankle sprain to Jimmy Garoppolo against the Jets early in the season? It was bad to begin, and it was worse after that. 49ers went to their fourth string center in 2020. And that game where they got to that, I think it was Hronis Grasu, was against Seattle. They could not handle an 8-gap blitz. So 2020 derailed by poor pass protection, just like the Super Bowl run in 2019 was. That set the table for investment that the 49ers needed to make in 2021. That's right around the time, by the way, that this legendary spot in San Francisco, Cafe Prague, Czech restaurant in the shadows of the Transamerica Pyramid, is when it closed its doors. RIP to Cafe Prague. But back to the 49ers 2021 investment in that offensive line. Obviously, they got Trent Williams and they got Alex Mack. Could only be with the team for a year before he retired, but he really set the record straight at the center position. They also drafted Aaron Banks that year, and he wouldn't start until the 2022 season. But in 21 and 22, it was no coincidence that the 49ers went up to the top 10 of pass protection metrics. So the people that say that the 49ers have been bad at pass protection throughout the entirety of the Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch era just are not speaking in fact. The investment that the 49ers made in the 21 offseason paid big dividends over both 21 and 2022. Jimmy Garoppolo had a really good stretch of football in 2021 to get the 49ers into the postseason, but injuries, both to Garoppolo and to the offensive line, began to take their toll over the course of the season. And it was really the playoffs where that line, with Trent Williams getting hurt, with Mike McGlinchey getting hurt. Also, they had to play Tom Compton in right tackle. It was really the playoffs where the line ran out of gas. Then in 2022, the 49ers again put good protection in front of all the quarterbacks that they used that season. Of course, including Brock Purdy, as they went all the way to the NFC Championship game. The Hassan Reddick pressure, that didn't come against the tackle or an offensive lineman. That came against Tyler Kroft, the tight end on the scheme. So 2022 was not a bad year by any stretch of the imagination for the 49ers offensive line. That did, however, lead to the regression of 2023. And that's what set the table for now. Walking through Hodling Place, that's a little alley that leads to the Transamerica Pyramid, right to Jackson Square, which is one of my favorite quiet neighborhoods in San Francisco. So close to downtown, nestled in between that financial district and North Beach. You got to read a little bit about the Barbary Coast. It's legendary. Was once a much noisier component of this neighborhood, which is now quiet, filled with trees and art galleries. And a good spot to transition our discussion into that 2023 regression of the 49ers offensive line. Trent Williams remained the best tackle in football in 2023 at age 35, and I think the 49ers are counting on that continuing into age 36, but it becomes a riskier and riskier proposition each season. Meanwhile, left guard Aaron Banks actually significantly regressed in pass protection last season, and he's entering the final year of his contract now. Another player who regressed was Jake Brendel, the center. He had a top 5 year in pass protection in 2022. That was not the case in 2023. You also saw struggles from Spencer Burford, which led the 49ers to bench him in favor of John Feliciano, who they had to re-sign, but Feliciano has said that this is going to be his last year. He's going to retire after this season. Of course, they've got Colton McKivitz, who's also struggled at right tackle. He replaced Mike McGlinchey. So you can improve at essentially every single one of these positions, except for left tackle. So that sets the table for tomorrow, when I'll have my article up on The Athletic looking at 10 offensive linemen in this upcoming NFL draft that the 49ers can invest in with hopes of improving the line, interior and exterior. I look at tackles, I look at guards, and I even look at a couple possibilities at the center position. The 49ers can get bang for their buck through the draft, which is controlled by the rookie wage scale. I think that free agency was way too expensive along the offensive line when you saw guys like Kevin Dotson and Jonah Jackson going for over $16 million for the Rams. The best guard in free agency, Robert Hunt, went for $20 million to the Carolina Panthers. So the 49ers looking for the cost-efficient path up front. They're looking to reinvest. They're looking to be smart about their investment. Kind of like I was smart about my investment in food today in San Francisco. First, Maxfield's House of Caffeine, the breakfast sandwich on a croissant, San Francisco style. As good as a breakfast sandwich can be. This one's also in the Mission, so go ahead and check out the breakfast sandwich at Maxfield's. And then a slice on my way up here during the course of this walk as I went through North Beach at the famous Tony's Slice House. Good city to eat, good city to talk football in. That's your 49ers update. Big investments in offensive line might be coming. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. We'll talk to you all very soon. 49ers update. They are hosting their local pro day tomorrow at Levi's Stadium. That means prospects with Bay Area ties will be working out ahead of the NFL draft in front of the 49ers coaches and front office. And there is a non-Bay Area tie in there as well. And it's not technically a pro day for him. It's going to be a tryout for quarterback Kellen Mond. 4-year starter at Texas A&M. He was in that Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones draft back in 2021. Mond went in the 3rd round. He's only thrown 3 NFL passes since then. Has been with 3 teams. Obviously, his career not going all too well, but he's still trying to make a roster. And Mond is actually going to be throwing to the prospects of the pro day and trying out for the 49ers as he does so. 49ers do need technically a 4th quarterback. Kyle Shanahan likes having 4 quarterbacks on a 90-man roster to make it through the offseason program, just the way that he runs stuff. He's typically carried 4, obviously only 3 on the 53-man roster, but Mond at this point, desperate for a shot back into the league, and he's only 24 years old. The 49ers might be able to give that to him. Just depends on how he performs during the tryout at the local pro day. So they've got Brock Purdy, they've got Josh Dobbs and Brandon Allen, and we'll see Kellen Mond tomorrow at Levi's Stadium. He might be a similar quarterback to Josh Dobbs. He's got some athleticism. He showcased that at Texas A&M over those 4 years. Always remember Chris Sims, Kyle Shanahan's buddy, now working on TV, right, NBC Sports. He had Mond as, I think, his 3rd rated quarterback of that draft, which did include Lance and Mac Jones. Oh boy, that's a time that I don't want to relive. The build up to the 2021 NFL draft. There were a lot of bad takes back then, but we'll get to relive it just a little bit tomorrow at Levi's.